Hi everybody, welcome back to my mom's recipe box. Today we're going to do a little experiment. I bought a churro mix a little while ago and it's a waffle mix. And I don't make a lot of waffles, but one thing we do love in this house are muffins. So I started asking myself, could I make muffins out of churro waffle mix? There's only one way to find out, right guys? So let's get started. Like I said, this is a waffle mix, and there's the mix. That's the whole box is in there. Okay. So I know from past experience that waffle batter is pretty thin. Okay. So this recipe on the back of this box calls for 1.5 cups of water, 3/4 of a cup of oil, and I think like a cup, 3 eggs. And let's see, water, water, oil, and eggs, people. So it calls for 3 eggs, 1.5 cups of water, and 3/4 of a cup of oil. Now I think that for muffins that's going to be too much liquid. Okay, so that's where we're going to be experimenting in the amount of liquid, because we're going to be eyeballing the thickness of the batter to see if we've got it right. Okay, so come on over here, cameraman, and I will show you what we're going to do. So now we don't use the KitchenAid for beating up this batter because it's a little more, it's a little gentler. So we're just going to use a whisk. And I've got my batter in here, and I'm going to start with, instead of 1.5 cups of water, we're using about 1 cup of almond milk. Okay, so I'm just going to pour that in there like so. Okay, and instead of a 3/4 of a cup of oil, we're using less than 1/2 cup, just a little bit less than 1/2 cup. I'm going to pour that in. Okay. All right. I'm going to give this a little whisk and just see what do we got going on here. Okay. I'm just going to whisk it up. So it's already getting there, and we don't even have the eggs in yet. Okay. So we definitely want it to be thinner than this. So we're going to go with our eggs. Now, you know, we don't just crack an egg and put it in our batter. And why is that, cameraman? Because you don't want to get eggshells in your batter. So we're going to do one egg at a time. Take a look. Shells. Nope. In it goes. And then I'm going to do that with the second egg. Oops. Let's see. Nope. No. Whoop. Wait a minute. No, that's not shell. Okay. There we go. And finally our third egg. And sometimes when you guys stick your thumb in like that, you're going to get some shell. But we're living right today. No shell. All right. So they go in. And then we're going to also add some vanilla extract, because you know you don't make a baked good without vanilla extract. And so sad. Look. It's empty. It's empty, people. We got to stop now and go to the store. Okay, so now we're going to mix this up. Okay. Well, that was really a lot of vanilla. The cameraman's super happy. Okay, so we're going to whisk this up, and we're going to go slow at first because I don't want to get batter all over the kitchen. Okay, there we go. We're just going to whisk it. It's a little bit of elbow grease. This is a pretty thick batter, I have to say. So get that last egg in there. Okay. This is surprisingly thick batter. Okay. If it has a few little lumps in it, that's okay. You don't want like super big lumps like that one right there. Let's get this over here. Okay. So how many people out there prefer muffins to waffles? Let me see your hands. Not too many. We've been on a real muffin kick lately, and it's kind of a drag because, you know, thank you, politicians. muffins are super expensive these days. Super expensive. Even in the discount grocery stores like Aldi, muffins are already up to like almost $4. And they're $6 at the regular grocery store. Okay, so this looks pretty good. Get in there, cameraman. Take a look. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That actually looks like a good consistency. So what we're going to do now is we're going to let the batter rest, okay? And then we're going to fill our muffin cups and put them in the oven. So come on back, okay? Hey everybody, welcome back. So our batter has been resting. If you want to come over here, you can see it's a little smoother and it has some bubbles in it. It's really important, guys, to let your batter rest. If you're making pancakes, if you're making waffles, if you're making muffins, give the dough, the batter, a little bit of time to just rest, get itself together, get to be the point where it's ready to be baked, all that kind of thing. So what we're going to do here is I have my muffin tin and I have my muffin papers in the tin. I know what you're thinking. Susan, those are really big muffins. They are. They're jumbos, okay? So I'm hoping I get 6 jumbo muffins out of this batter. But if I don't, I'll show you what to do, okay? And one of the things you have to do is disinvite that 6th friend. Sorry, don't come over. We don't have anything for you. Okay, so now I'm just going to spoon the batter into my giant muffin cups. Now you don't want to go all the way to the top of your muffin cup. And I will tell you this from personal experience. If you go all the way to the top of your muffin cup, what's going to happen? Anybody? Your muffins are going to rise over the top of your muffin cup, over the top of your muffin pan, over the edge of your muffin pan, and right into your oven. And it's not going to be pretty. Okay, it might smell good at first, but then it's going to burn up down there and it's going to be a mess. So I am filling them high because I do like muffin tops, you know. If anybody's ever seen that Seinfeld episode, the top is the best part of the muffin, am I right? So, but we don't want to make a mess in our oven. So that is why I am not taking these all the way to the tippy top of the paper. And as this is, I'm probably going to have some overflow. Probably am. But this is waffle batter, and I've never worked with it before in making something other than a waffle. So we shall see, right? Okay. Now you can use a spatula or an ice cream scoop if you think that would be bigger. I do realize I'm dropping little bits of batter all over the place. Okay, we are going to get more than 4. Okay. Now, if I had run out of batter right here, guys, you see I have 1 cup that doesn't have anything in it. If you want to protect your muffin tin from burning up and you want to not waste this muffin cup, what you would do is you'd take this liner out and you'd put about a ½ inch of water in here, okay? Put it in the oven, bake your muffins. Then your muffin tin stays nice, you don't waste the paper, and everything is fine. But I do have enough batter for my 6th muffin, so here we go. Now, if you're making regular size muffins with this, use your 12 muffin pan, because you will be able to get a dozen regular size muffins out of here. Okay, and let's put a little bit more in there, risking destruction of our nice clean oven. And a little more there, and we'll put a little teeny tiny bit more in here. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to take a little bit of granulated sugar and a little bit of cinnamon. I would say like a tablespoon of each. And just to continue in the sort of churro theme we've got going on here, I'm going to sprinkle the top to the muffins with this cinnamon and sugar. Now, I'm not going to use a ton of it because, of course, these muffins are already going to be sweet. And you guys are already sweet, so we don't need a whole lot of extra sweet. Okay. Now, what are some things that you think you might put in here if you wanted to do that? I would suggest maybe some slivered almonds, maybe some chocolate chips if that's your thing. But we're going to just leave them the way they are, okay? So these are going to go in the oven at 350 degrees. And because I have no guidance on how long to cook these, because they're technically waffles, I'm going to check them in 20 minutes, okay? That's usually between 20 and 25 minutes how long a muffin takes, okay? So we're going to put these in the oven and we're going to come back and have a taste test. Come on back. So my favorite part of the video is always the taste test. So here are our churro waffle mix muffins.
Look good, smell good.
They smell good. Now they ended up being in the oven at 350 degrees for half an hour. And I knew they were going to take a little while. So here's what it looks like. Nice crumb. It's got a nice cinnamon sugar topping. So without further ado, cheers, babe.
Cheers.
Okay. The flavor is good, but to me they're a little bit dry. And I think the problem is probably that I had them in the oven too long.
Okay.
So I think possibly maybe 25 minutes in the oven. And also I might make the batter a little bit looser, yeah. Or maybe a little extra almond milk or a little extra oil might do the trick. But the flavor's very good. It's gonna be a great muffin with a cup of coffee in the morning. Maybe a little butter on it, or maybe a little cream cheese will take away the dryness. So I will say that I think you absolutely can use a waffle mix to make a muffin.
Who knew? I found out today.
Yeah, I was today years old when I found out you could make a muffin out of a waffle mix.
How about that?
So that's our show for you today. Please join us next time on My Mom's Recipe Box.
YouTube, Facebook, subscribe, like, share.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Bye.